So we talked about some of the specific associations. It occurs to me that some people might have more like general associations, or maybe they get a degree or two removed. So, for instance, I'm feeling these things, but I'm not really aware consciously that I'm feeling it. I'm just kind of on edge or agitated, and so I might just go through the world angry. I know a lot of guys like this in particular. I'm sure some women are this way too. They
Sure.
go through the world angry or agitated or just pissed off, and it's seen as sort of a just I don't know what who they are or something like it's I don't think they recognize that at all as some sort of defense mechanism or some way to keep some distance or to deal or not deal with stuff. How does that come into play here? Does it come into play?
Yeah, there's such a confusion for a lot of people when they don't know about their nervous systems, to assume that kind of like whatever states I've been living in most often, most frequently, that's just kind of like it's a reflection of like maybe my personality or who I am. I've just always been that way, you know?
Yeah,
And so I'm just not the most patient person, or I'm the kind of guy that's like, don't mess with me, right?
right.
And so I may be kind of like in referencing somebody who might be stuck in that type of a pattern. Like I'm a tough guy, you know, and so I'm going to walk through the world as a tough guy, and nobody's going to mess with me, and that's just who I am, and that's how it is. And so when we then factor in kind of these layers of the nervous system, and we start discussing those things with people, but also looking at kind of what were those early years of their life, or what experiences have they gone through that maybe required their nervous system to get set up in a way where, in order to adapt or effectively deal with difficult things that were going on in their environment, they developed this kind of tough guy kind of approach to the world. And they aren't really recognizing how they're still carrying that through, maybe beyond the context where it was necessary. Or if there had been a different kind of support available even back in time, the whole setup in their system might have turned out a little bit different. And so when they can start to view it as more like, oh, that's just a pattern, that's just a program in my nervous system that got set up to help me cope, to deal with really difficult things. And I'm so grateful to that part of myself for having been able to, kind of help me out that way with that difficult situation I was in. But maybe I don't have to stay stuck living in that pattern anymore. Maybe some of the things that I felt even way back when I was young, some of the needs I had or the desires I had that weren't attended to are things that could be attended to now. And that there's this whole different way that that person could potentially start living in the world